Oh, folks. Folks, we gotta talk. And I'm willing to bet that a good portion of my audience is not going to like what I have to say. But we need to talk. Because this is bad. This is getting very, very bad. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm kind of not digging it. You feel me? Okay. It's Valentine's Day 2018. For those of you watching in the future. And today, I had a mini heart attack at my office because my phone goes off because of my news settings on my phone that there is a shooting at a school, at a high school in Florida. Another one. And minor problem. My bonus daughter lives in Florida. So obviously you can imagine where my mind went immediately, like, holy shit! So of course I had to get on, click, 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 find out where it was. It was in Parkland, Florida. To the people of Parkland, I can't even begin to say anything, to be quite honest. There's nothing that I can say that will make this better or anything. And I refuse to spew out further trite bullshit, a la Donald Trump, about our hearts and our prayers go out to you, because our hearts and our prayers mean jack shit if there isn't any change. 5 years ago, upwards of 5 years ago, the worst tragedy that could befall anyone happened in Newtown, Connecticut. And you would have thought massacred kindergartners, massacred children would have been the turning point, but you'd be wrong. I don't like to mix politics in with my videos, kids. I really don't. But here's something that you guys need to understand. Politics and crime are... You can't separate them. They're bedfellows. Legislation makes the laws that I will be enforcing. Legislation makes the laws that govern your daily lives. That's just the way it is. So I can't separate politics and law. It just doesn't happen. If you have a fucking problem with that, get off my fucking channel, because we're going to go there tonight. How many more children have to be sacrificed on the altar of the NRA? How many families need to be torn apart just so people can feel better about themselves? How many more? And I've heard all the stupid fucking arguments of, oh, well, just because you ban all guns doesn't mean that the criminals aren't going to get a hold of them still. Britain has banned guns. It's to the point where even most cops in Britain do not carry weapons. They have armed units that the first responders have to radio and tell them, hey, we need your help, and then they will mobilize the armed units. Australia banned guns after a school shooting, and they have never had a fucking problem since. What the fuck is it going to take? What is it going to take? Do you guys realize, and I'm speaking from personal experience here because it's me. I have a total of 7 children. Do you realize that statistically speaking, one of my 7 children is going to be killed by gun violence. And at the rate they're fucking going, it's going to be when they're sitting in a classroom. You want to sit here and pick which one of my kids I can live without? Do you want that responsibility? Because you have it. You have that responsibility. I have the responsibility for your children. Which one of your kids am I going to tell you can live without? Which one of your grandchildren, which one of your brothers, which one of your sisters, which one of your best friends am I going to make the decision that you can live without? Kids, we are in February. We are halfway through the second month of 2018, and we've already had 18 school shootings in this country. Are you fucking kidding me? 18! And the best our government has to offer is our hearts and prayers are with the victims' families. You can take your fucking prayers and blow them out your Cheeto ass. Unless you're willing to fucking do something about it. You know what, Trump? Your presidency is going down in flames. Even your supporters have to admit this. It is going down in flames. Do something worthwhile before you go. Do something meaningful before you go, besides coining the phrase fake news. Do something. Anybody at this fucking point, I don't care who. Just somebody do something. Kids, we need our guns to hunt. Why? Because we don't have grocery stores? Because you can't hunt with a crossbow? Because you can't hunt with a bow and arrow? I mean, don't get me wrong. I come from a very hunty part of the country, so fine. Do you need an AR-15 to hunt a fucking deer? No, is the answer. You don't. You do not need military-grade weapons to hunt. Oh, well, we need our weapons for home protection. Okay, fair. You don't need a military-grade weapon for a burglar. You just don't. You don't. You don't need it. So fine, keep your fucking hunting rifles, keep your fucking handguns, and just get rid of the military-grade weapons. How hard is this? On a day-to-day basis, the average person is not going to need a gun. They're just not. Or here's a thought. Keep the guns, but ban the fucking ammo. I don't know what. To be quite honest, kids, I will be the first to tell you I know jack shit about politics for the most part. I'm learning. I'm learning, but I don't know enough. What I do know is that this sort of thing directly affects my family. Directly affects my family. Nobody needs military-grade weapons except the fucking military. You want a military-grade weapon? Fine. Join the military. Or here's a thought. You want to own a fucking gun? Okay. Here's a thought for any, politicians listening. Here's a thought. Instead of doing a background check that quite frankly doesn't do a whole fuck of a lot, how about this? How about only military veterans can own a gun? How about that? You want to own a gun? You fucking go and do your 4-year stint. You learn how to use the fucking shit. You use the shit in the military, and then you can own a gun. How about that? Because then we're guaranteed that they get good training and they understand what it is to pull the trigger. And kids, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's not the guns. No, it is the guns. I'm sorry, but it is. It is. But that's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation is that parents aren't raising their fucking kids anymore. They're not teaching their kids shit. For all your fucking helicopter parenting, you're not teaching your kid a goddamn thing. All you're teaching him is that he's so special that when he gets a bug up his ass, he can open fire. That's all you're fucking teaching him. That he's so special, the world has to fucking stop because his little feelings are hurt. Well, guess what, Cupcake? That's the real fucking world. That's the way it goes. Better to learn that now than 35 years from now when you've got shit nothing in the bank and you're sitting there like, nobody gave me the opportunities that everybody said people would give me. No, nobody gives a shit. This participation trophy bullshit, this directly leads to shit like this, kids. Look, I'm a 90s kid, in case you hadn't noticed. I was there. I wasn't there. I was in Taos High School. But I remember Columbine. I remember the ripple effect that had on the country. The shock, the horror, and the aftermath it had on this entire country. Especially in my little fucking podunk rinky-dink town. Which, by the way, is like an hour's drive from the Colorado border. You know, our school went apeshit. They suspended a kid for having a map of the school that he was drawing for a school project because they were that terrified of what was happening. This is in a hunting town. Kids were driving to school with fucking gun racks in the backs of their trucks, okay? And they suspended a kid for having a map of the school that he was doing for a project for school. Okay? The fact that nothing has been done in 20 years to the point where now we're 6 weeks into the fucking year and we're already on our 18th school shooting. 17 families woke up this morning and went about their business, getting ready for school, getting ready for work. Mom probably snapped at the kids to get in the car. 17 families woke up this morning with no idea, no clue that by the end of today, by 3 o'clock this afternoon, their world would be ripped to shreds. They had no idea. None. Not a fucking clue. I want you to look at each and every one of your kids. You get a hold of your child and you look into their eyes and you ask yourself, can I stand never seeing this little face again? Because I couldn't. A month ago, I got a phone call as I'm walking into my office from my daughter's school. We have a credible threat. We're going on lockdown. 9 a.m. I got this call. 9 a.m. I called my husband. I told him, you go get her now. And he went and he brought her home, and I got a call from the truancy officer, Mrs. Martinez. It's not okay for you to just take your kid out of for no good reason. We need a doctor's note. And I said, you can kiss my ass. If there is a credible threat, you should have fucking called all the parents and said, keep your fucking kids home. Not call them at 9 a.m. as they're walking into work to tell them that there is a credible threat. Because I guarantee your ass, if anything had happened to my daughter, I'd have taken it out of his ass and the principals and the fucking superintendents. Because no, you don't play Russian roulette with my kid. Not a single fucking one of them. Y'all can talk as much shit as you like about my smoking in my house and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, you fuck with my kid, you fuck with me. You fuck with me, I'll put you in the fucking ground. Cambria, darling, yeah. I'm doing a video. Kids have no reverence whatsoever. They see mom standing here talking like an idiot to her computer, and they're just like, doo-doo-doo-doo. And you know what? She can drive me up the fucking wall. She's my kid. She can drive me absolutely crazy. But if she wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to function. Maybe it's because I'm a writer. Maybe it's because I'm an author. That I can sit down and mentally try to imagine myself in one of those parents' shoes right now. And I'm not deluding myself. I know that I probably don't even come fucking close to what they are feeling tonight. I'm probably like way outside the ballpark. I'm still in the parking lot. I'm not even in the ballpark. But the parking lot is bad enough. You need to put yourself into those parents' shoes. 17 parents who were right at the cusp of watching their kid walk across the stage at the end of this year to graduate and go off to college to start on their adult life. 17 families are never going to watch their kid graduate. They're never going to watch their kid get dressed up for prom. They're never going to watch their kid get accepted to college. They're never going to watch their kid get married. They're never going to hold their grandchild from that child. They're never going to do it. Are you okay with that? Because I'm not. I'm not. You have to be a heartless son of a bitch to insist that your right to bear arms is more important than a child's life. And not just one child. If it was just one kid, that's bad enough. It's not just one kid. Today it was 17. With another, 14 at the last time I checked, 14 wounded. We don't know what the extent of their wounds are. Some of these kids could be paralyzed. Some of them could lose a limb. Some of them could be left with life-altering injuries. We're talking 31 children, 31 lives, just so you can own a gun. That's just today. How many more in the future? How many more children are we going to have to sacrifice so you can own a military-grade weapon? How many? How many is worth that price to you? How could you be so selfish? And I know the fucking bullshit. Oh, well, if they take away our guns, it's so the government can take over. No, it's not. It's not. It's not for that. The whole fucking point of government is to assist the people and to help them, to take care of the things that if you're a fucking plumber, I'm not going to ask your ass an opinion on a legal question. If you're a fucking waitress, I'm not going to ask you to do heart surgery. You can't. That's kind of why we have government. Now, true, the government is not completely trustworthy. I will give you that one. But when they are clearly trying to do the right thing, and what the fuck is with these politicians just, oh, our hearts and prayers go out to you, but they don't actually try to fucking do anything. You know, in Australia, when they banned guns wholesale, lock, stock, and barrel, nobody in the country is allowed to own a gun from what I understand. I could be wrong, but for the most part, from what I understand, nobody's allowed to own a gun. The politicians who pushed through that legislation, they committed career suicide, but they were more concerned about the good of their people, of the good of their country, than they were about their own fucking careers. And that is honor. That is integrity. That's the kind of shit that you're going to be reading about 200 years from now in history books. A politician committing career suicide strictly so that nobody else has to go through this kind of pain? So that people live? Isn't that what the fucking government is supposed to do? Is to protect the people? You guys want to sit here and talk about immigrants? Fuck you. First of all, unless your great, however many fucking greats, back to the 1600 greats, grandfather and grandmother were Chippewa Indians, you're an immigrant. Shit, my ass is an immigrant. I'm 3 generations removed from Norway. I'm 16 generations removed from Spain. I'm an immigrant. My family, they immigrated here because we're not native. So, first of all, take your fucking immigrant bullshit and blow it out your lily white ass. Second, immigrants have not done the kind of casualty damage to this country that bred, born, and raised Americans have done with legally purchased weapons. That's how bad it is, kids. And until you face that fact, we got a real fucking problem here. What the fuck? Where are your priorities, America? You're more concerned with your right to own a gun than you are with the lives of children. I don't take my kids to school for target practice. I take my kids to school to learn. I should not be having to have that conversation with my 9-year-old daughter. What to do in case of an active shooter. That is not a conversation anybody should have with their 9-year-old daughter. Incidentally, I had the same conversation with my 9 and 8-year-old sons after the Virginia Tech shooting. When the fuck are we going to have to stop having these conversations with our kids? It starts with gun control. Then it leads to the crime rate and what contributes to that. And let's make no mistake here, kids. The economy plays into the crime rate. I don't give a fuck if you believe it or not. Quit worrying about people on food stamps and start worrying about the kids getting shot. Straighten out your fucking priorities. Baby steps, kids. Baby steps. What are you people thinking? That a gun, getting to own a military-grade gun, is more important to you than a child? Is your dick so small that you need an AR-15 to feel like a man? Trust me, honey, if you need a fucking semi-automatic assault rifle to feel like a man, you're not a man. You're not a man. There is none who stands so tall as he who stoops to help a child. My oldest son is 17. My middle son is 16. Most school shootings happen in high school. That's not a worry I should have every day. Is my baby gonna come home? I guarantee you, among those 17 families, there's at least one mother who lost her shit on her kid this morning. Why isn't your homework done? Where's your jacket? Where's your backpack? Why are you always running late? Why are you always making us late? She probably lectured him in the car on the way to school. And she never got to say, I'm sorry. When is it going to stop? When are you going to stop caring more about a gun than you do about human life? And until you can care more about human life than you do about a gun, don't you fucking come at me with your abortion bullshit. You don't fucking care about a fetus. You don't care about a baby. Because if you did, you would care about gun control. You care about telling other people what to do with their bodies. That's all you care about. Because guess what? Most people that give a shit about not having gun control laws also are Republicans who are against abortion and birth control. Facts are facts, kids. Something needs to change. And you know what? If you aren't going to have the fucking balls to change it, who will? I will. You hear that sweet little voice? That's my 4-year-old son.
Huh?
You want to tell me that I can live without him? Because I can tell you I can't. His life is more important to me than a gun. Your child's life is more important to me than a gun. Hey. I love you, kids. Come with me and help me change this.